This is basically a short supplement to the episode 3 of the Let's Talk Things Over series, as I only mentioned 2 things that I should actually show you. That's basically what I want to take care of now. If you are flying a Federation ship, there's a set power that you really should look into if you try to run anti-protons on this. I mean, obviously I'm running phasers as I need it for my known scenario builds. This 2-piece power for anti-protons comes off a quest chain, or 1 quest only. I think you have to play it twice. You get both items. You want the Obelisk Subspace Rift Warp Core and the Omnidirectional Anti-Proton Beam Array for the Ancient Obelisk Technology set. They give you the 2 set bonus of plus 10% anti-proton damage, and this is now another real percentage, so this is a very strong buff. It is even stronger than the Warp Core M for some reason, and rumor has it that once you upgrade your Warp Cores to Ultra Rare or even Epic, I'm not quite sure, you might get an amp on top of the current powers they have. That would even increase the benefit of this, but if you're running a Federation beam build with anti-protons, just make sure to get this set of the Omnidirectional and the Subspace Rift core. And for the Romulan cannon builds for no one scenario, we should also point out that there is this 2-piece of ships that you could get. That is the Archive Carrier and the other thing that is called the Arcala Warbird. They bring the Plasma Quad Cannon, which is generally not a good item, and the Focus Singularity Modulator, not doing too much as well. The Annihilation Mode and the Focus Singularity Beam are kinda gimmicky to have, not really that good, but also they gain for the 2-piece set power if you have both of these ships, the 10% plasma damage and plus 30 Starship Energy Weapon Specialist. Not quite sure why it would be a specialist. I think it's just the energy weapon specialization as in our skill tree. So possibly this doesn't do anything, but I'm not quite sure. The 10% plasma damage, however, is also a real percentage, so this is like the highest plasma damage cannon buff that you can find. Remember that you could increase this with the science consoles or a array, but you don't really want to use an array. So as you can see, this is my known scenario loadout for the boat. Just having this 2-piece is quite good. Okay. As this video would be insanely short, I only wanted to point that out. I'll also just get quickly started on the PvE side of things here, just to see how all these things apply. This video has been live on my stream the other day, and this is basically an ISE if you look at the looks of it. Okay, it's nothing too special. You have 1 cube on the right, you have 1 cube on the left, you have the center cube with 2 spheres. Now they will all get increased hit points on the advanced difficulty, so this is just to tell you how this basically works with the abilities. Okay, now it's working. As you can see here now, I'm using all the single abilities one after another. The emergency part weapons, the attack pattern Omega, tag team, and fire at will. Basically what we do is just kill the spheres. You don't want to use your attack pattern alpha, fleet, or your other major cooldowns just yet. We just kill this first cube and the little things real quick. I now have the plasma fire on myself, which if I cloak will raise my shields after 1 damaging tick, or the contact dialogue will also decloak you. So you have to wait until that contact dialogue is over and try to or if you have to cloak your ship in between the ticks of plasma fire, you could clean that with the hazard emitters, but keep in mind that will also give you a hull resistance, and therefore you will take less damage from this core breach. As you can see here now, I'm now cloaking. I still have the plasma fire taken on me, and there comes the cube explosion, taking me down 41,000 HP to 17%, which is quite good for GDF. So now we evasive overuse all of all cooldowns, attack from an alpha fleet, tag team, attack from beta, also the directed energy regulation now really reducing the drain, fired will, and now the second cloak ambush. And if you look at the energy level of my weapon systems, now that drains only very little to around 117, staying up to 125 most of the time even. So we just now AoE everything down, target the little thing usually if you have it in line of sight, just to make sure that you hit the right target. Now we use the next attack pattern Omega and beam fight will. As you can see, we always wait for the cooldowns to come back up and realign properly, so that we every time we use a fired will have an attack pattern stacked on top of it. Killing now everything off on this side. On a regular run you wouldn't go 3 left, 2 right, but all would go first left then right. We just do this to get around the problem that we basically have too much damage to kill this all. So we cloaked up again to get the third cloak ambush in this. Now I used the Romulan tier 5 reputation cloak, using all the buffs, and we'll hit them with the Nukara tier 5 reputation, the refracting Tatran cascade now. As you can see here, it hits basically 5 targets, which is the absolute maximum, and they will after this hit each other. So this is the after effect. So now we park in the middle, use all the remaining buffs we have, and basically slam them until everything is dead. Just making sure that we didn't forget any spheres or something else. It might be a little laggy on the video for you, but that's okay. This is more for the educational purpose anyways. Okay, so this is now the last set of buffs, and as you can see, I try not to distribute shields too much. I don't try to hammer, shoot all weapons and that too much. And as you can see, we end up with 53k almost damage on infected. So this was quite a good run. So as I said, you basically split up if you have too much damage. On regular runs, if you play with like up to 20k, you don't need to do this. You shouldn't even probably. You fly, as we saw, above of the transformator, kill all the little things down below, and then try to catch as many recloaks as you can. If you already have good damage on Federation ships, obviously that doesn't apply. And yeah, then you just kill them. Make sure that you align your cooldowns properly. You can always get your GDF on that first cube if you don't mess up with the shield power coming back up with taking damage or that contact dialogue. Align your cooldowns properly so you use attack pattern beta and fired will. Always have an emergency part of weapons running, and don't blow on the first cube. Place all your cooldowns. Like I didn't even use my tactical initiative. I just see so many people spamming this Hilbert guide macro where they will just use all of the abilities over and over because it's all macroed into that, and when their weapons are about to shoot, they will distribute shields to screw over the cycle. So yeah, don't do anything to mess up your own damage. Like it's way easier than you probably think. You don't need to spam all the buttons all the time. Okay, so one more thing I wanted to address is someone asked because why I would have a different skill tree on episode 3. The skill tree I explained to you on episode 2 was on my Federation tune. that is basically where the difference is coming from. However, attack patterns, weapons training, energy weapons, and energy weapon specialization will always be full, like there's no way around that. Same for flow capacitors, warp core efficiency, and electroplasma systems. Now, I moved around a few of the other points on this. First of all, this is somewhat a older loadout, so I would always suggest basically going for the one I gave you in episode 2. This is also, however, a little more focused on pure damage. We did go 9 into Starship targeting systems, which is such a marginal increase. For Romulan ships, however, the warp core potential with 9 points, also in the comma area, might help you. This is just to make sure that the overcapping is working properly. Things that we actually moved is we have a little less engine performance, a little less auxiliary performance. We have one more in armor reinforcements. Now that is all really not that important, really. The shield systems you could get away with 6, and we have the particle generators not as high. That is simply because I do not yet have on this character the new R&D science trait up to 15. The R&D science trait really kicks in with particle generators to increase your TBR and graph will damage unknown scenario. So that's why I have that on my Federation tune. And therefore it was worth it putting all the points in here. Basically we're covering up here a little for the Romulan disadvantage of having lower overall energy performance. But as we saw in that chart, the difference is really not that big. So I'm just trying to compare the two builds. We have a little more power insulators here. Doesn't really influence that much how things go. I mean, you don't get drained that often. It might be good against certain spheres or so, but you could probably get away with 3 in here. So you would move a little around. It's really not that influencing. I mean, you just have to make sure that you get all the vitally important ones. If you have 3 in power insulators or not, that is kind of small. Weapon performance, auxiliary performance, you kind of want higher, as auxiliary directly increases your damage if you don't run aux too bad. So yeah, I personally would go with the loadout that I gave you in episode 2. This is just a little more focused into targeting systems, warp core potential, and power insulators. I removed other things from that. Yeah, as I said, this is kind of an older one, so don't worry about it too much. The difference is, however, kind of small. Okay, so that should be it for this supplement to episode number 3. I will probably be back tomorrow and try to cover the other space STFs. Then we still have the known scenario where we want to look into all the flanks, which ships. We kind of got that already, but just making sure. And yeah, then we basically have already the Delta Rising on us, so stay tuned for that. I wish you a beautiful evening, and thanks for watching.